Hey there, this video is on 3.2 Finance Worksheet. It's an activity that I put up in your Canvas. So you can read through all this stuff at the top, but basically what payout annuities are is where you have some money now that you have in the bank or somewhere, some kind of trust that you're pulling out money every month, or it could be every 6 months, every year. It's a consistent same time increments. So all our other variables are pretty much the same. P sub O is different. That's going to be what's in the account at the beginning. D is our regular withdrawal. Instead of deposits, you're pulling money out. This does work the same way for the problems we have further down the line on this sheet, that that we need to pay off loans like a car or a mortgage. Those are called amortization, but it's the same formula, same type of thing. R is the annual interest rate as a decimal. K is the number of compounding periods in 1 year, just like before. And N is the number of years we plan to take withdrawals. So remember that the periodic rate would match up with, if it's that you're doing withdrawals every month, then your compounding would also be monthly. Or if it's every year, it's also yearly. So just to note also that this formula here on the right, P sub O equals D with large parentheses, 1 minus 1 plus R over K to the negative NK, all divided by R divided by K. That can be written with the larger parentheses, especially if you're trying to solve for D. So that's just another form. They're mathematically equivalent. We can do that. And so remember, we have multiple withdrawals or payments. So here's, actually going to leave the formula there. I use this version in the upper left. After retiring, you want to be able to take out $2,000 every month. So that's our deposit for a total of 10 years from your retirement account. The account earns 4% interest. Now, it doesn't say it, but we would note that that's compounded monthly because it has to match. How much will you need in your account when you retire? So we're trying to find P sub 0. So our R is 0.04, our K is 12, our N is 10, D is 2,000. So we just go ahead and plug those things in. Now you do need to be careful here. It's different than the other formula you did for future value of an annuity. You are doing 1 minus all this exponential there. And also your exponent has a negative. So on your calculator on the multi-view, the negative symbol is right down in the lower right next to your enter key. So on the multi-view and on many calculators, if you try to put the subtract symbol in, it will give you an error code. So if you're getting that, that's why. So make sure you use the actual negative symbol. Now, some electronic calculators, I already just made this video, it didn't come out very good. So redoing it, because the calculator I was trying to use is just too different from what I recommended here. So it also just allows you to use a minus. So I didn't want to confuse you with that, but some of them do and most of them don't, though. So be careful when you're typing your stuff in. If you're running into issues, then let me know. But how I would do this one on the multi-view, I probably would just use my fraction key for the fraction. So I would type in 1 plus 0.04 divided by 12, but I would use my fraction key, or I would put parentheses around it. And then I would hit enter and I would raise it up. You could use this, there's a little symbol that looks like this, like a little triangle without a bottom. That's your exponent key, okay? So that's how I would type that in. So I'm going to get my answer and then raise it to that exponent, but I'm going to use parentheses to make sure, or I would just calculate that in my head, and you want to use that little negative symbol. And then once I do that, I would go 1 minus, and then in the upper left, there's a little second. It's like in green. We can use green. And then right where that negative key is, there's a button that says ANS. So that's your previous answer that we just got all right over here. So that's my answer. So I want to make sure I don't just hit subtract 1. I want to do 1 minus whatever this is going to be. Then I hit enter. And then I'm going to multiply by the 2000. So I'm just kind of writing out what I would type in, and then hit enter, and then divide by parentheses, or use your fraction key, which kind of looks like this, 0.04 over 12, and then enter. And you should get, for all those values, I'm going to write the in-between steps. I'm going to just pause the video and put those in, and you can match up. So what you end up with is P sub 0 equals $197,540.35. That's what will be in the account. So make sure you put your units, dollar symbol, and then add some context in a brief sentence or phrase. Or should be in the account, right? In order for you to take that out. That's what needs to be there. So now problem 2. See if you can figure this one out on your own by plugging stuff in. You are going to have to pay close attention. So I'm going to set you up just a little bit here. Okay, so problem 2, you know you will have $300,000 in your account when you retire. So you're going to have that ready for you. You want to be able to take monthly withdrawals from the account for a total of 15 years. Your retirement account earns 6% interest. And that would be compounded monthly because you're doing monthly withdrawals. How much will you be able to withdraw each month? So let's go ahead and fill in all the info that we need, or that we're given, I should say. So our formula, hopefully you have it in front of you, but here is the $300,000 is our P sub 0 this time. D is what we're trying to find, even though it says withdrawals, we're still using that same letter. 1 minus 1 plus the R over K, which is going to be, in this case, R is 0.06 and K is 12. And then next, we have to put our exponent in. We're raising that to the negative 15 times 12. And then we can put another big parenthesis, all divided by 0.06 over 12. Now, if that's a terminating decimal, we can just, kind of calculate it out. We get 0.005 for that. So we can just write that in. It's easier to work with when we're calculating. Make that a little neater. So what we're going to do is figure out all of this and then leave it in our calculator, hit divide, or hit actually 300,000, then the divide by the answer, right? Second answer, we can use that key. That will really help us. So let's figure out what this big batch stuff is. So we have 300,000 equals D. And then I'm going to, I know that the 0.06 divided by 12 is 0.005. So I'm going to want to do 1.005. So I'm going to write off to the right what I'm typing in. So 1.005. And then I'm going to raise that to parentheses, and then I'm going to use that little negative down by the enter in the lower right times 15 times 12. Okay. And we should get, just quick type that in, negative 15 to parentheses, negative 15 times 12 and parentheses, and then enter, and you should get, looks like 0.4, I get 0.4074, so on and so forth. And then I'm going to leave that in my calculator, and I'm going to type in 1 minus, and then second button, and then the answer button, or well, it's in a second function. So 1 minus second answer, and I should get 0.5929, so on and so forth. And then I'm going to divide that by 0.005. Hopefully I hit everything correctly. Looks like I did, and I get 118.50, so on and so forth. Don't retype it and round, just leave it there. So that's what I'm getting in my calculator. So if you wanted partial credit, you could write it like I'm doing there, or you could just kind of write it how I'm going to end up writing it in the problem. So this I'm going to pop back up here next to the D in parentheses. 118.5035 ... means I didn't round. And then what I want to do is divide both sides by this 118, so on and so forth. But what I want to use is my answer key. So we can put A and S. So we're going to hit, what I'm going to type in now is, I don't hit clear, just do 300,000, right? So I'm typing in 300,000 into my calculator, and then I'm hitting the divide button, and then I'm hitting the second button, and then I'm hitting the ANS, and then enter. And what I end up with in that case is I'm going to get D equals $2,531.57. So if you find your answers are a little teensy off, that means you probably did round. If you go out several places here with your decimals and retype it in, like if worst case scenario you can't figure out that answer button or you don't have one, you can just type it in. But I would go like at least like 6 to 8 places so you don't get that rounding error. The bigger our numbers get, the more rounding error we get. So to answer this question in full, we would say you would be able to withdraw. Able to withdraw. I'm going to abbreviate here. $2,531.57 each month for 15 years. And if you live longer than that, you're in trouble. You don't have any more money. So hopefully you'll get some more money, or someone will take care of you. I know that is actually no joking matter. That happens to people, and it's hard for them, and you think, oh, I have all this money and I'm not going to live that long, so I can enjoy it, but you have to have some extra just in case. My mother-in-law's kind of been careful. She's 82 now, so kind of plan for like 90 or 100. Be hopeful. So I hope that helps you figure out that kind of problem there. The next one is about loans. So I'm going to make a separate video on that because I think we have a few to do. I would like you to try them on your own. I think a lot of them, you can actually do given the information that you've had. But I do want to support you with the video and the solutions and things. But if you want to just do it and then check your answer, I post the keys so you don't have to listen to me go on about it or walk you through it. If you are good to go, just go for it. So the loans are just the same process. It's just that you're paying something off rather than kind of taking the money for yourself, unfortunately. All right, have a great day.